Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Belchan.
I'm Nimakong.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you Chap. 36 Sec. 2 of Jane Eyre and Autobiography.
As.
Ah.
Jane Eyre and Autobiography. Brontë. Chap. 36 Sec. 2. Ere I well knew what course I had resolved to take, I was in the midst of them. How fast I walked, how I ran sometimes, how I looked forward to catch the first view of the well-known woods, with what feelings I welcomed single trees I knew, and familiar glimpses of meadow and hill between them. At last the woods rose, the rookery clustered dark. A loud cawing broke the morning stillness. Strange delight inspired me, and I hastened. Another field crossed a lane threaded in there where the courtyard walls its back offices. The house itself. The rookery still hid. My first view of it shall be in front, I determined, where its bold battlements will strike the eye nobly at once, and where I can single out my master's very window. Perhaps he will be standing at it to rise early. Perhaps he is now walking in the orchard, or on the pavement in front. Could I but see him, but a moment. Surely, in that case, I should not be so mad as to run to him. I cannot till I am not certain. And if I did, what then? God bless him. What then? I rove. Perhaps at this moment he is watching the sun rise over the Pyrenees. I had coasted along the lower wall of the archway at its angle. There was a gate just there, opening into the meadow, between two stone pillars crowned by stone balls. Banchan. I advanced my head with precaution, desirous to ascertain if any bedroom window blinds were yet drawn up. Battlements, windows. Wang frontal from this sheltered station were at my command. The crows sailing overhead perhaps watched me while I took a survey. I wonder what they thought. They must have considered I was very careful and timid at first, and that gradually I grew very bold and reckless. A peep, and then a long stare, and then a departure from my niche and a straying out into the meadow, and a sullen stop full in front of the great mansion, and a protracted, howdy gaze towards it. What affectation of defiance was this at first, they might have demanded. Here an illustration. Weirder. A lover finds his mistress asleep on a mossy bank. He wishes to catch a glimpse of her fair face without waking her. He steals softly over the grass, careful to make no sound. He pauses, fancying she has stirred. He withdraws. Not for worlds would he be seen. All is still. He again advances. He bends above her. A light veil rests on her features. He lifts it. Bends lower. Now his eyes anticipate the vision of Beaut warm and blooming and lovely in rest. How hurried was their first glance. What how they fix. How he starts. How he suddenly and vehemently clasps in both arms the form he dared not, a moment since, touch with his finger. How he calls aloud a name. and drops his burden and gazes on it wildly. He thus grasps and cries and gazes. He came make. He thought his lips slept sweetly. He finds she is stunned it. I looked with timorous joy toward a stately house. I saw a blackened ruin. No need to car behind a gate post. Indeed, to peep up at chamber lattice. Freeing life was Aster behind them. No need to listen for doors opening to fancy steps on the pavement or the gravel walk. The lawn. The grounds were trodden and waste. The portal yawned void. The front was, as I had once seen it in a dream, but a shell-like wall, very high and very fragile looking, perforated with panelless windows, no roof, no battlements, no chimneys had crashed in, and there was the silence of death about it, the solitude of a lonesome wild. No wonder that letters addressed to people here had never received an answer. As well dispatch epistles to a vault in a church aisle. The grim blackness of the stones told by what fate the hall had fallen be conflagration. What how kindled? What story belonged to this disaster? What loss? Besides mortar and marble and woodwork had followed on it? Had life been wrecked as well as property? If so, whose? Dreadful question. There was no one here to answer it, not even dim sign. Mute took in, a wandering round the shattered walls and through the devastated interior. I gathered evidence that the calamity was not of late occurrence. Winter snows, I thought, had drifted through that void arch. Winter rains beaten in at those hollow basements. Poor amidst the drenched piles of rubbish. Spring had cherished vegetation. Grass and weed grew here and there between the stones and fallen rafters. I know. Where meantime was the hapless owner of this wreck? In what land? Under what auspices? I involuntarily wandered to the grey church tower near the gates. And I asked, is he with Dame de Rochester? Some answer must be had to these questions. I could find it nowhere but at the inn. And thither, all on, I returned. The host himself brought my breakfast into the parlour. I requested him to shut the door and sit down. I had some questions to ask him, but when he complied, I scarcely knew how to begin. Such were had I of the possible answers. For a tale of misery. The host was a respectable-looking, middle-aged man. You know Thornfield Hall? Of course, I managed to say at last. Yes. What? Did you? Not in my time. I thought. You are a stranger to me. I was the late Mr. Rochester's butler, he added. The late. I seem to have received, with full force, the blow I had been trying to evade. The late, I gasped. I mean the present gentleman. Mr. His father, he explained. I breathed again. To be continued.